So let's take some time here as we're starting to wrap up the course. We're starting to get into some of the deeper methods to talk about the power of the present moment, how centering ourselves in our core truth can help us develop like almost a bulletproof mentality or a bulletproof way of showing up or being in the world. I think personally, meditation is the key to unlocking this power. But here's the thing: there's also limiting beliefs about meditation or how we think meditation is imaged. What's the identity of meditation? In many ways, people think about it as you got to have an orange robe, you got to sit on a mountain, you got to be a monk. That's not necessarily true. I mean, if that's your bag, go for it, do it. But the key is most people do not need to meditate for hours every day to enjoy the benefit of presence. In fact, today it's pretty obvious that there are very few of us who enjoy the freedom of time or obligations to just sit and meditate all day, right? And if you do, good for you, awesome. I love that for you. That's your path. The most powerful part of meditation is that even 5 minutes a day begins to shift the way that we show up and perceive the world. 5 minutes is dramatically different than not 5 minutes. I mean, it is night and day. In fact, from 5 minutes to 45 minutes, I don't see a major difference in many people, right? That first 5 minutes is so critical, so crucial, because we're breaking through wall after wall of resistance to the present moment and allowing the ego to settle down for a moment, to relax. You don't have to do everything. We're safe. We're secure in this moment. Nothing is going to happen to us. We can relax. That amount of relaxation can set the ego back on its feet and say, okay, I don't have to take everything so seriously. I don't have to treat everything as a threat. There's an interconnectedness to this entire experience. Now, how do I use this analytical power that the ego has for us, right? How do I use that to better improve the situation for this being, right? For this part of me. This is incredibly powerful because if you can tame that piece of yourself, it becomes an incredible ally for you. It starts to see things as benefits, and using that analytical hyperdrive that's built into all of us for a positive is just dramatically transformational. So here's some of the keys that I think are vital to a meditation practice and helping us to kind of gain this power, right? If you follow these 6 steps, you sit and you meditate for 5 minutes a day, the limiting beliefs start to show themselves and we start to release them almost automatically. A lot of the work comes out of it, right? The healing process isn't always as grueling. In fact, if you combine this, a meditation practice with other healing techniques like breath work, energy work, and energy healing, which I'm going to be offering to you as part of a package deal at the end of this here course. When you combine those two, things start to take like a fast track for you. Everything starts to fall into line. Alignment starts to happen. Blessings start to come your way. You start to manifest things left and right, and you're operating in a completely different vibration, a completely different way of showing up in the world, and it is truly fantastic. So let's go through these real quick. You've got to commit to a time. Whether that's in the morning, whether it's in the night, whether it's during your lunchtime, whatever it is, you've got to commit to it. Commitment is crucial. And I'm not talking about being super rigid, right? You just have to be consistent. That's number 2. It doesn't have to be every day. It doesn't have to be every other day. Maybe you want to do 45 minutes on your Saturday morning and that sets you up for success for the week. Maybe you're a 5 minutes a day person. Maybe you're meditating in between on stoplights on your commute to work, or maybe you're meditating in between switching tasks when you're working from home. Whatever it is, you just need to be consistent about it. In fact, one of the things I think is incredibly powerful for people who are especially hyper busy is called micro mindfulness. Whatever mundane task that you have going on, brushing your teeth, taking a shower, sitting at a stoplight, about to doom scroll on your Facebook or your social media feed, take the second just to breathe, to find presence in that moment. Give yourself 3-4 breaths, nice and deep. These small moments start to add up to big wins over time, right? So it's not that we have to be 45 minutes every day to have a meditation practice, but we do have to commit and we do have to be consistent. Number 3 is we've got to be patient. These results will come in time, and they kind of build on each other, and it's an exponential growth factor here. But there is some patience that is required. After the first 5 minutes, you're not going to see like super benefits, right? You're not going to be like impervious to emotional drives that have ruled you for a long time. But over time, those things start to become less and less. And if we're patient, we're consistent, and we commit, it does work. It's time tested, it's time honored, it's time approved. Number 4 is releasing expectations, not only about what your practice has to look like, has to be, or has to feel like, but what it's going to give to you. The most amazing thing is that we can't measure it. We cannot sit here and measure what meditation can do for us because it is nearly limitless. The benefits, the ability that we gain, the power, the space, and the presence that we gain to deal with our lives is it's unquantifiable. In fact, it's such a qualitative experience that the quantitative, the statistics of it are just really hard to dive into. But you will see them over time, especially if you release that expectation. Number 5, I think, is to have compassion for yourself wherever you're at in the practice, right? Some days are going to be hard. Even if you're just doing 5 minutes a day, you're going to be like, my mind was just running amok. I'm so frustrated. It didn't feel like it did anything for me. A meditation master once told me that those days are the days where you're actually getting the most work done. It's not the day where you come out and you feel super peaceful, right? I had a perfect meditation. Oh my God, I'm so thrilled. That day that you're super frustrated with the process, with the practice, that's the day that you're breaking through. So have compassion for yourself on those days. Have compassion for when your leg falls asleep or when you fall asleep. It doesn't matter. Just keep with it. Be consistent. Commit. Be patient. Number 6, integrate what works best for you and leave the rest, right? There's no right or wrong way to build a meditation practice. There's no perfect tried and true way. There's so many. Basically it's the Swiss Army knife of the spirit, right? It's the Swiss Army knife of peace, of mindfulness, and there are many ways. Some people really enjoy mantra meditation. Other people like loving kindness or metta meditation. Some people like just general mindfulness. Other people like breath work, dance meditation, walking meditation. The list goes on and on and on. The key is to integrate what pieces really work for you and stick with them. Oop, where's my cursor? Okay. The 3 Ps. These are built into my entire practice here. Practice, presence, purpose, power. Patience. I could add so many to it. But our power is located at the nexus of these events. It's located at the nexus of purpose. When we combine practice with the art of presence, we find our deep purpose. We find our way that we want to show up in the world. And through acting in alignment with that purpose, we find our power. And that is the way to create that way that we want to be. This is the core of my entire philosophy here at Practice Presence, as a coach, as a healer, as a spiritual guide, and it's served me extremely well. And I can assure you that if you give it space, if you give it the time and you commit and you're consistent to investing in yourself, really, it creates massive change on a scale that is unquantifiable, as we have already talked about.